Now, just be authentic. Be real with yourself. If you can't even be real with yourself, you know when you're not doing right. You know when you're not consistent. You know when you're not delivering. You know when your customer service bad. You know when you broke. You know when you in a negative, when you need some gas in your car, but you at every event trying to do stuff. Like, you have to really know how to pivot out them situations.
Good idea, now we buying merch.
That's ghetto.
Payment miss.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Say she quit.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Late on your rent.
Rent is ghetto.
New event.
Ooh, the ghetto.
Invoice in.
That ain't ghetto.
Money spin.
Oh, that's ghetto. Hold on, it's kind of ghetto being a CEO.
Welcome back to another episode of the Ghetto CEO podcast, where we talk about how being a CEO is super ghetto unless you get your stuff together, girl. Okay, I am super excited to bring you another episode today. But listen, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because this season is all about the album mode. That's why we in the studio. Okay, that is the theme of this season. And album mode is when you lock in and you got to get it done. And in 2025, like I keep saying, it is not the soft girl era anymore. It is not time for passive income. You got to lock in and you have to get it done. Okay, but this episode we are bringing you another amazing CEO that we know that's in their album mode season, and they are not letting up off the brakes. Okay, today's guest is a true powerhouse in hospitality, travel, and short-term rentals, with faith and flair leading the way. London is a founder of the Fabulous Factory Hospitality Group and the visionary behind Mimosas in Business, an empowerment network for women who are ready to level up. She's known for turning everyday properties into luxury. Guests love her experiences, from Airbnb hits to hotel-inspired spaces. She also is a speaker and an author who brings boldness, business, and strategy to a faith-based era. Get ready, because we are excited to bring London to the Ghetto CEO podcast. Welcome, girl.
All right.
Hello. How are you?
I am good. How you, girl?
Good, girl. We just in our album mode.
I know. We in real album mode right now. We really in the studio.
We in the studio.
Yeah.
Okay, as the girl say. Okay. No, I am excited. So listen, what does, for your era, and like I say, album mode is like when you gotta like go deep and like cut off all distractions.
Right.
And right now I feel like you in your album mode getting ready for your event.
Yeah.
So like, what does album mode look like for you?
Album mode look like for me, I'm gonna be quite honest, doing only things that like really resonate with what I got going on right now.
Yeah.
Anything else outside of that, it does not matter right now. First and foremost, putting God first. I'm very big on that, making sure he is number one in everything that I do, but really, really locking in all distractions. If it's not really helping me and really taking me to where I need to be right now, it's time out for that. Like, we in the stoop for real. Like, doors locked, windows closed. Yeah, like super locked in. So that's what that look like for me right now.
I love that. So tell them a little bit, like, who is London? Where are you going? How do we get here?
Of course. So London, it's so much about me. Like, it's so crazy. I'm from St. Louis.
Okay.
I moved here 12 years ago.
Okay.
I moved here by myself. I used to do hair and makeup.
Okay.
And I got tired of hair and makeup. I got into property management. With property management, it just inspired me to leave that world and really get into the short-term rental business. I was working in the apartment industry, and I was learning so much. And I'm like, you know what? Let me amplify this and put this into something else. I did everything before. I did hair, makeup. I used to make bodies. I think I did every single thing.
Yeah, get to it.
Yes, but hospitality and events is what really took off for me and went viral for me. And I was like, this is my staple. Hospitality, I just feel like I know. Not even feel. I know. I
know. That's like, that was my calling.
That's my calling. I'm very detailed. I'm a perfectionist, and I feel like in the hospitality industry with short-term rentals and things like that, you have to have that detail to make people like feel good about themselves.
No, that's for sure. Okay, so tell me a little bit, like, how did you get into the event side of it?
Okay, event side. I got into the event side when I was little.
Okay.
I've been having like sleepovers and everything since I've been like 7,
Productions
8.
by London.
I'm telling you, it's been Productions by London since I've been about 6 or 7. I used to have makeup parties. I used to have so much stuff. I just love bringing people together.
Okay.
So that's how I got into it. Like, just at a young age, being the only child, my mama always let me have.
Okay, come on, only child.
Yes, she used to let me have stuff like parties and all that. And it just turned into, when I moved to Atlanta, I'm like, I'm new here. Don't nobody know me.
Yeah.
Let me keep on curating those experiences, and that's how it just, took off.
And that's, right now, that's what the streets is talking about. Okay, Mimosas in Business. So tell us about the event.
Okay, so Mimosas in Business is on May 18th.
Yeah.
It's super, super dope. Let me tell you about it. I curate it around fun.
Okay.
I make sure that's how I pull the girls in. That's my secret weapon. It's going to be a fun experience. I just want something super different, but it's all about really empowering women and not just past empowering women. I tell women what they need to hear and not what they want to hear. And I feel like a lot of events that we go to, they just talking about what you want to hear. I'm telling you exactly what you need to really amplify yourself as an entrepreneur, as a creator, anybody in that space who just don't want to work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And that's what the event is based around. Just having fun and bringing the fun back into business. Business boring. Like, it can be boring and it can be very hard work, sleepless nights, but I want to bring the fun back into it because you got to be passionate about what you're doing. And
absolutely,
that's what the event is for.
No, and I love that because one thing that I tell people all the time, when you really get in business and you doing the right thing, it is boring.
It is.
Because you're supposed to be doing the same thing the same way over and over again, right? Like, once you figure out how to make 100,000, you need to make that next 100,000 the same way you made the last one, right? But you be like, my little creative juices is it. Like, I want to do something different. So I think that that's good.
Yeah, of course.
And really just being able to have fun. So tell us about, like, how does the event, is this the first year? This not the first year. How many years have you been doing this?
So the first one was in 2020. We had 89 people at the first one. That was, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. Even thinking about it, that was like the first big event I did.
Okay.
So it was 89 people. It was downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
And then I went through a lot for like the past, like the next 2 years. It was good stuff that I was going through and bad stuff that I was going through. And then I brought it back in last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought it back last year, 2024, and it's already grown so much just within that 1 year of me coming back. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so you said it was good stuff you was going through and bad stuff you was going through. So what was stopping you and blocking your blessings to get to where you are now? Okay,
so when I first started off, the Fabulous Factory went viral when they seen the, my themed Airbnb. It was doing really good. It's the pandemic. Everybody doing good at the time. So it was really good, booked up. I ended up getting into a bad investment with one of my properties. When I say bad investment, we don't be talking about the bad stuff.
Come on, let's talk about it, because being a CEO is ghetto.
It's very, okay? And people don't be understanding that. So I got into a bad deal with an investor.
Okay.
The property was in the worst location ever, so it wasn't bringing in the money that we needed to bring in. So we started getting behind on everything. We didn't have the help. And then my target audience is very diverse. So I don't just attract, Black women to my properties. People fly from all over the world just to visit my properties and come to see them because of how they're designed.
Right.
So it was a lot of people canceling because of the area. It was just so much going on, and it really tried to take me out. On top of that, I started experiencing more things. I lost my grandmother. I was pregnant, and then my son was in the NICU, and he passed away. So it was just one thing after another. And that just took me out. And then that's when I really found God. Like, I found God so much, and I always been a hustler, and he just amplified everything and restored everything and renewed everything for me. And that was epic. Like,
I love that. So when you say, because a lot of people, they go and they say they've had their faith all their life, right? Like, you go to church, they take you to church, they drag you to vacation Bible school and all the things, right? But you say in your hardest season is when you found God. How did that happen? Got my favorite brand, Zen in a Jar. Now listen, if you've been outside all summer just like me, you're going to need some oil to get that crusty skin all moisturized. But this oil, it smells so good, and it's mosquito repellent. Like, we are too cute and too fine to be bitten by mosquitoes this summer, okay? So make sure you get your Zen in a Jar oil so you don't get those mosquitoes biting on you. And you can put it in your bathtub too. Now back to the episode.
Okay, so after losing my grandmother and son, back to back, I was headed to my grandmother's funeral when I ended up in the hospital. And I'm like, no, y'all have to let me go. They like, no, you about to give birth soon. And I'm just like, no, I can't be died. Like, my entire life changed during that moment. Once I had lost him, I was by his side every day, still working, in the NICU. Once I lost him, I lost myself. And God had to tell me that you are no longer in control, London. You think you got it, and you think you could do everything without me. And he really showed me that I really have to put him first and really have that power and that faith to just depend on him and trust on him. And in that season, I felt so lit. I'm like, I don't need nobody. I don't need nothing. Yeah. And he broke me down so, not even saying he broke me down to the facts to where you think that God can just break you down and never build you
but
back
he
up.
can.
He can.
I literally remember a similar moment. I had a miscarriage, and I remember the moment where I knew that the only way that I was getting through that was God, because I don't know if you've ever just felt through from your toes to like everything, you just like crying out like, I need help, and so those are the moments that you really surrender.
I completely agree, and that's come on, okay, I love that you said that. Surrender. That is exactly in that moment, in my darkest hour, I just had to surrender to God, and that's when I met the Holy Trinity. That's when I met the Holy Spirit, Jesus. It's just I met everybody at that one moment in my darkest hour, and he talked to me. Like, when I say God is real, God is so real. He really talked to me and came to me, and it was a wake up moment. And since then, I done had my foot on everybody's neck right now, and I'm gonna keep on doing it and just keep on watching. Yes, like it's really heavy right now. So
but that's what has to happen, and I think that it's a part of the season you go through as an entrepreneur. There are moments that will break you, that were designed to break you. And if you don't surrender, and surrender is sometimes, when you're an entrepreneur, you've been hustling so long, you've been doing it you feel like you've been doing it by yourself. You feel like I the one that's been getting up every day and going to work. I the one that's been doing the hair, the makeup, the bodybuilders, like you said, right? Like I the one that's been doing everything. Yeah. But then you turn around and realize, like, nah, that wasn't me. Like, that wasn't me at all. That
was never
God.
Me.
Yes.
It was never me. So I give him all the credit now. And I just told him, if he renew me and restore me, I promise that every platform that he put me on, I'm going to continue to amplify his name. Yes. And that's exactly what I've been doing, because it's nothing but him. It's not me.
Yes, God. I love that. Yes. I love that. Okay, so now you went through your darkest hour. You felt like you needed to surrender. And now, how did you get out of that moment? Because it's a woman listening to this right now that's like, girl, I am here.
Yeah.
How do I want to surrender? It sounds good, but how do I know I'm going to come out on the other side?
It really, I'm going to be honest, it got to be in you. It cannot be on you. And it's a lot of people right now who just playing fake roles, and they not being themselves. I'm so authentic. I'm so real. And I never try to switch that up for nobody. My biggest advice for anybody right now, just be authentic. Be real with yourself. If you can't even be real with yourself, you know when you're not doing right. You know when you're not consistent. You know when you're not delivering. You know when your customer service bad. You know when you broke. You know when you in a negative, when you need some gas in your car, but you at every event trying to do stuff. Like, you have to really know how to pivot out them situations. And I've never just had a defeated spirit. I've never had a defeated spirit. Even when I feel defeated, it's just like inside me. Like, I'm telling you, it's in me for real. I'm a true hustler. Anything that I'm going through, I know how to pull myself up out. Yeah. So any woman listening to this right now, if you do not know how to pull yourself out, first and foremost, pray. Pull on God and just know yourself. Be authentic, like, and pull yourself up out that spot. Like, you got to talk and speak life into yourself, and a lot of people not doing that right now. Yeah,
and I think it's like I tell people, it's even if it's day by day. Like, even if you don't believe it, you got to say it.
That's
so you can start believing it.
You know what I mean? Manifesting itself.
No, for real. Like, you just gotta walk in the mirror like, I am a bad.
Right.
I see you, girl. And even though you like, girl, I look raggedy. I don't look good. But you gotta start speaking affirmations into yourself to truly know, like, I'm going to get through this. This is going to happen. Because it is not designed for you to be down forever. Yeah. But if you continue to lean on your own understanding and continue to lean on yourself, then you will be.
You're right. You're right.
You know, so I love that. I love that. Okay, so then what happened? So you had the bad investment, and then did you just let it go? Cause
the property sold.
Okay.
Everything started coming at me.
Okay.
My car started going bad. I had to find a new place to stay because they said the building that I was in, they didn't want to do Airbnbs in that building anymore. And they was like, okay, everything gotta be shut down. Yeah. I was like, hold on.
It's too much.
It's too much. Yeah. And that's when things started to really pivot for me. Like,
okay.
After that, because I just started losing everything, and I'm like, okay, London, you got to come up with a plan.
So what was the moment of pivot? Like, what happened?
Whew, that's a good question. Me being just real, it was me talking to myself, and I'm just like, London, you really that girl for real, Like, quit playing. You know, like, I have to
quit
wake myself.
Quit playing with yourself.
Yeah, quit playing with myself. And that was my pivotal moment. Like, where I had to talk to myself. I was driving. I was like down the high. It's so crazy. And this is a quick little story. This is when I had my pivotal moment. Okay. I was going in front of Bath and Body Works.
Okay.
And I was in front of Bath and Body Works, and I seen a spot that I wanted. It was across the street. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm about to get this spot because, you know, it's close to the door and it's raining. You know, it's a whole lot going on. So
a parking spot.
A parking spot.
Okay.
This is about a parking spot. This good. This good.
This good.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, I'm about to get this parking spot because the person pulled out, but I did not see another car, and it came across and it went into the parking spot, and I was like, dang, they done took my parking spot. Like, I was upset. And then as soon as that happened, I went up about 2 notches, and the parking spot in front of the door opened up. And it was that moment when God talked to me, and he was like, I never wanted you to have the spot across the street. It was never for you. They had to walk in the rain with no umbrella. They had to do everything that you had to do.
Yes.
Opposite.
Yes.
Because I put you right in front of the door. I put you literally in a parking spot in front of the door. You didn't have to walk in the rain. You didn't have to do nothing. I had another parking spot for you. So too many times we idolize what other people doing in other positions that people in, not knowing how they got there or knowing the journey that it took for them to get in that same door. My pivotal moment was God talking to me right there in that moment. And he was like, I had a better spot for you.
Anyways.
Not
just at Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, I know, in life. So I correlated that to my life. And I was just like, girl, like, lift yourself up.
I love that.
And I used my son passing. I used my grandma. I just used them as guides for me.
Yeah.
So that I could just pull on that love that I had.
Yeah.
You know, when they were here, to still move that love in what I do.
You know, and I love that so much because I think sometimes when we're going through stuff, we're looking for this, like, the heavens open up moment. Like, we looking for, like, somebody to come and tap us on our shoulder and be like, get up, girl. Like, nobody's coming to save you, but you got to look at the moment. Like, to your point, that you could have gotten a parking spot, been mad, and just went home.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Because we'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll just get mad and be like, no way, I don't want to worry about it. I ain't going to Bath and Body Works.
Especially when we don't get our way. Okay.
What? Throwing a whole temper tantrum.
I know.
Yes. So, no, I love that. And I think that's why, you know, I really want people to hear your story and know that they have to be able to use that to be able to pivot into their future. Yeah, okay, so we got past the things that was going on. Okay. We made the bad investments, but then my girl said, I'm coming back with a vengeance.
Okay.
With a godly vengeance. Okay. So how do we get here to the event and all of the things? Like, what made you actually start doing these things again? I know you are enjoying this episode of the Ghetto CEO podcast, but listen, I need you to do me a favor, okay? I need you to subscribe, like, and comment below, because I only know that you're watching this if I see those views and all those things go up, okay? Now back to the episode.
So what made me start doing everything again, getting out my own way? I'm like, I have the, like, when I say I got the blueprint.
Yes.
I bought so many courses. I bought so many ebooks. I've taught myself so much stuff. It's nothing else that I can. It's like, take all the stuff that you have now.
Come on now.
Stop for a minute with the courses. Stop for a minute with the
Come
ebooks.
on.
And really hone in on what you want and write those 3 things down. Like, that you want to really bring forth in your career and your life. And I did that.
Yeah.
And I created a plan. And a lot of people be like, oh, you created a plan. No, I for real sat down.
Yeah.
Wrote in my book. I'm a writer. I love writing in my journal.
Yes.
And I wrote in my book. And when I wrote in it, I really created a plan for what I'm going to do. I'm like, okay, London, you gotta come. This your comeback season right now.
Yes.
You gotta really do something. And what I started doing was, okay, drop the video even if you don't look good. Drop the video even if you didn't gain some weight. Because I dealt with weight back and forth. I had lost, a lot of weight. I was dealing with that, so it was just like, forget it. Like, girl, just post.
Yes.
Post. However, and that's when I just started going. Now I don't want to stop, because now I'm excited to be in front of the camera now. Now I'm excited to deliver what I always know I could deliver. And that personality and just being authentic gonna take you just very far.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that a lot of people need to, because people say, okay, I'm gonna go take another course, to your point, or I need to educate and learn more. And I tell people all the time, baby, you know everything that you need to know.
I know.
You just need to do it. Can we execute in 2025?
Yes.
Can we do the thing? Because if you would execute and fail faster, then you would be able to learn. Like, you learn probably so much from that property that went bad.
Yeah.
Like, it ain't feel good in the moment, but you know damn sure what to do now.
I know a lot to do now. That's why I've pivoted so much, even just in business. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even want to do the event this year. Even though last year was super good, I didn't want to, because last year I brought the event back to distract myself.
Okay.
Right now, this month, when I told you I lost my grandmother and my son, it all happened this month. His birthday is April 18th coming up. My grandma passing was on April 9th. Then so much other stuff happened in between all of this time on top of him passing away. Man, you know, it was for a distraction. So I brought the event back to just distract myself. And God was like, no, I didn't bring this back for you to distract yourself. It's real women out here you helping and you changing lives. Like, bring it back. God told me to bring it back. I wasn't bringing it back this year, even though last year was a great turnout. And this year we've just... When I say, like, everything has amplified, including you. You've been a blessing. So shout out to my grandma.
I can't wait, y'all.
Okay. I was like, everything, because you a staple in Atlanta.
Oh,
Let's be clear. You get what I'm saying? If anybody know marketing, they know you.
Period.
And so even when that connection was made, everything has been nothing but God. So that's what, getting back into the event, you know, this is where I'm at right now with bringing it back. It was a distraction for me last year, but now it's purpose. Now it's like I got some
distract you, but it was meant for purpose. No, I love that, and I think that one thing that even made me be like, yes, I have to do this event is because of who you are, right? Like, I think a lot of times we don't always realize that people really have energies and auras.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I'm saying? And so I can see that from across the Instagram account.
I know.
Who you are, for real. You know what I mean? And so if you don't have a good energy, I'm going to be able to see that. But I think even when we met in person at the golf event, I was like, she's a good girl.
Yes.
So I definitely have to have you on the podcast. But I love genuine women. I love women that's giving back to the community. I also love people that like have genuinely true stories. Yeah. Right? Because this shit is hard.
It is.
No tea, no shade.
It is.
But this is a ghetto CEO life. But we won't give it up for anything in this world.
I won't give it up for nothing. Even when I had a salon and I was sleeping on the floor in the salon, let me tell you, because I had a salon, I couldn't afford rent and the salon, so I moved into the salon. I'm like, okay, something gotta go. I was at the gym taking showers all the time, you know, like, and this was years ago. But I won't stop. Like, stop for what? Yeah. As soon as I stop, that's when everything literally that was meant for me would have happened. So I know the vision. I know what God already called over me. I know I'm anointed. I know I'm meant to do great things. And if I stop, like, I feel like it's blood on my hands with women because I'm not really helping them or serving my greater purpose.
And that's what we're here for at the end of the day. So we have a segment called CEO Therapy. Okay. And we done had a little therapy session a little bit.
A little bit.
But my question to you is, what did you have to heal from to lead?
Wanting to be in control all the time.
Girl, all right, cut the cameras. That's it. Because,
wanting to be in control all the time. It's my show. Everything need to be done how London wanted to be done. Yes. And when I surrender and let that control go,
girl,
now people come into my life like, let me record your videos. Let me do that. And I'm like, okay. You can do it. Okay. And I look back and I be like, okay, you did a good job. So it's just like really trying to trust the people around me and build a team. Yes. I think we don't talk about that a lot. Like how you say being a CEO, it's very ghetto.
It's very ghetto.
We be trying to do everything by ourselves. Yeah. I was one of them. And now I'm trying to be, you know, what you say, the soft girl era. Yes. I'm trying to have my team, you know, do more stuff. Yeah. So that I don't have
to do everything. And that's the thing, you know, and once you realize that the vision that God gave you and the purpose you have on your life is bigger than you, you know that I cannot do this by myself, right? We got a team of about 25 people, and it was hard for me to build a team because I'm a tourist, so I like to do things myself. I like to get it done, baby. I'll set these cameras up and everything. I'm like, sit down, girl. Let me go run over there and push that button right quick, and then we gonna record these videos.
That is me. Okay.
I'm over it. And I was like, I can't do all of this by myself because I'm not sitting in my zone of genius no more. Okay. Like, if I really sit in my zone of genius and really strategize, look at these numbers, help us make more money, make the connections, make relationships, and build a business, that's what I'm supposed to be doing as a CEO. I ain't got to be designing the graphics. I ain't got to be pushing the buttons on the videos. I don't have to do all of that, right? Because if I do that, then I'm stopping these people from getting their vision, what God gave them to do. You know what I mean?
That's a good way to put it, ain't it?
Now you out here stopping other folks' blessings.
Yeah, I ain't even put it that way. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so if you had to talk about your next season, right? Your next album, you finna put out your next album. What does the next album look like?
Oh, that's a good question. What my next album look like? Love.
Ooh.
Love. Okay. It's looking like love.
First of all, it was a little glow there. So it's like, are we already in love? Are we trying to find love?
I'm in love with my passion.
Okay.
I'm in love with the Fabulous Factory.
Yeah.
I'm in love with this event coming up. Mimosas in business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked like putting my foot on necks all year long.
Period.
And really doing what God already called me to do.
I love it.
And then, falling in love.
You ready to do the family thing.
I'm ready to do the family thing,
Little soccer mom action. Just a little bit. I'm ready to get into that era because I never want being a boss to really distract me from building that. And I feel like a lot of us are so locked in with our goals to where we get out of touch with our relationships, with family, with kids, with everybody. And I just really want to tap back into the love that God has already caught over me and continue watering those who really support me and show that back. And I think that that's important because I think a lot of times we're doing this CEO thing, we grinding hard, and then we forget about the personal side of us, right? Like what we actually need to feel loved, cared, and admired, and all the things. And now it's time, it's time for us to do both. I feel like CEOs, we can have it all.
We can, and they be thinking that boss women just can't get men or we can't do nothing. I don't like that.
No,
because I feel like we cater and we do all that stuff.
I can be submissive if you get, I can be led if you give me something to lead.
That's the fact.
To be led with.
And that's what I meant.
It sounds like London is looking for love. That is the next segment of the show.
That is not. I ain't looking. I'm gonna let it find me.
Yes. I love it. But no, I think that I think that is a good thing, and I think that is a thing that a lot of CEOs, they either go either side. They get lost in it. They get lost in making the money and making the accolades, and then they don't have the person that they can experience this life with. I'm excited. Okay, so if you are in your album mode season, and somebody's watching this and London, I really resonate with your story. I really love what you said. What would you tell them to get up, to surrender, and to get into their next album mode season?
Okay. What I would tell them, cut out distractions. I mean, all distractions right now, cut them out. And also stop worrying. We get a lot of people who worry and complain about everything. And it's like, how many times you going to complain about the same thing? You got to change stuff up. If you getting the same results 5-6 times, you going to still go do it. A 7th time, you got to switch it up and create a plan to pivot in your life. And it's so deep. When I say pray, and really pray, because we dealing with stuff we cannot see.
Nope.
We dealing with real spirits. We dealing with stuff that people don't think is real, and it's very real. And you have to fight that every day. And the biggest person we fighting are ourselves.
Yeah.
We are our own worst enemy. Every day we are our own worst enemy. So I would say get out your own way.
Yeah. And to your point, you definitely got to pray. I think, like you said, you're dealing with things that you don't even know that's happening in the supernatural. You know what I mean? And people can be putting things on you without even trying to.
Yes.
People are envious, they jealous. You may be like, I'm having a hard time, but somebody in that season when your lowest time was jealous of you. And you like, girl, this is the bottom.
I know. And it happens all the time. People get envious and they don't know what you are experiencing and going through.
Yes.
Don't envy. I'm telling y'all right now, even with y'all seeing my journey and everything that I'm going through, don't envy that. I still go through stuff. You get what I'm saying? You will see everything going on, and then certain areas in your life start stopping. And I'm just like, what is going? You have big blessings in this area, and then now you going through warfare in this other area. So never idolize or anybody you see on this TV screen, anybody you see on Instagram, because everything is not what it seems.
It's not what it seems.
It's not.
You don't know what happens behind closed doors. You do not understand what it feels like when London got to pay them bills that's coming in for that event.
Okay.
You don't know what that feels like.
And they coming in too fast.
You like, stop them.
Yes.
But it's like people just see the glitz and the glams. They see the highlights.
Yep.
They see the trailer of your life, and they're like, man, my life should look like that when you on the other side.
That's the fact. They don't see me crying. They don't see me crying, and they have to pick up like, okay, yes, what time?
I'll be there. I'm on the way.
Yes, girl, they don't see them moments, but just know them moments are real. They're very real. Y'all just don't get to see them all the time.
Not at all. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Ghetto CEO podcast, where we talk about being a CEO. It's super ghetto. We try to be open and transparent about all the things on the CEO journey. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all on the next episode.
Invoice in, that ain't ghetto. Money spin, oh, that's ghetto. Hold on, it's kind of ghetto being a CEO.